last week of this secret message being delivered. There's a lot of amazing t-shirt designs out there, but this is an art masterpiece, and boy, does it send a message. Elon Musk with. So can you imagine if George Herbert Walker Bush or Ronald Reagan or Bill Clinton or Barack Obama or Joe Biden had the King of England and the Prime Minister of the UK, Keir Starmer, reach out to them and say, hey, we're going to offer you entrance into the British Empire, Commonwealth, and all that means. Can you imagine what we would say about them? We'd say it was treasonous, it was traitorous, if they actually tried to do that. Well, that's what we heard the last week of this secret message being delivered from King Charles, that it was already delivered, and then another one's about to be delivered, the official paperwork saying, hey, would you like to join this? Well, you have to have the Senate ratify treaties. It's a treaty. So, A, Trump can't do that. And B, I just don't believe that that's something that Trump would actually support. But he responded to the headline, King Charles to make secret offer to Donald Trump during state visit after Starmer hand-delivered letter from the king. So they did it privately. Now they're going to do it officially. That's how it gets confusing. And Trump responded, I love King Charles. Sounds good to me. So the secret offer to join the Commonwealth, no other way to take that, sounds good to Trump. We are in day 62 of the new Trump administration. He's doing a lot of really positive, amazing things. We'll be detailing more numbers coming in that the Democratic Party is still in a massive free fall, with most of their own pundits admitting they're dead as a political force. Their party may have split in two. Meanwhile, President Trump came out on Friday responding to the, quote, secret message being delivered by the King of England next week from Keir Starmer, British Prime Minister, that they should join the UK Commonwealth with King Charles at the head of it. Trump said he loves the idea. Yes, it's on his Truth Social. Did a report about it yesterday. People didn't believe me, even though I showed the headlines. I don't blame you. It's shocking. Here's an intro report I shot. Back in 2013, I told that red coat globalist that was trying to take our guns, Piers Morgan, that if you try to take our firearms, 1776 will commence again. Well, now I've got to tell President Trump, if you try to put King Charles as the head of the U.S. government, ahead of the American people and our president, 1776 will commence again. When I learned this information earlier today, it was like a punch in the stomach. I couldn't even believe it. So I went and researched it, and it's true. And I've always promised viewers and listeners. All right, folks, so the full report is 13 minutes long. Didn't do that on purpose, but it's exactly 30 minutes long, or the 13 original colonies. You know, July 4th, fighting King George and the evil redcoats, starting the new great country, the greatest in human history, the red, white, and blue. So I love Trump. And I think Trump does a lot of good things. And he also jerks people's chains. He knows Keir Starmer and the UK has been directing the ongoing rebellion against our move to end the Ukraine war. He understands all of that. Elon's been after Keir Starmer, who for 15 years was the main judge running the CPS in England that was involved in cover-ups of unprecedented industrial-level pedophilia. The list goes on and on. All the USAID money, the EPA money going over there with the billions to come back against him, his family, Musk, myself, any other prominent patriot. So we've been hearing for a week about this secret message being delivered when King Charles visits soon. And then we learn on Friday it is an invitation to join the UK British remnant of their empire Commonwealth. And Trump, I've got the quote here in the post from Truth Social. People that don't believe it, I can't blame you. It's just absolutely insane. Overhead shot, please. This is Donald Trump. I love King Charles. Sounds good to me. And that was in response to this article. King Charles to make secret offer to Donald Trump during state visit after Starmer hand-delivered letter. And now reportedly the king's going to deliver a letter, just all this other crap. So that's exactly what this is. And do I have to remind you that King Charles is openly pushing for global government, global carbon tax, the ESG, a military operation to cut the carbon, and all the leftist woke agenda? I mean, King Charles is a huge globalist. I mean, other than Klaus Schwab and Bill Gates, he's the most prominent kingpin out there. It'd be hiding under a rock not to know that. And people go, oh, well, it's just ceremonial. I've got the charter documents. I've got it all. If you're an associate member, that means you're in it, and it's not ceremonial. You just saw the King of England 2 months ago dissolve Parliament in Canada so that Trudeau can hang on a few months and install his guy, Carney. No, it's big. You might as well cancel July 4th if you do this. We'll be talking about this and a lot more coming up. Ladies and gentlemen, it is Sunday, March 23rd, 2025. We are 62 days into a true global revolution. All right, President Trump is dismantling the entire globalist order. It was already on the verge of collapse. He's making all the right moves on so many fronts. When I say all, almost all. Trump revoked security clearances from Joe Biden and his entire family, Kamala Harris, Hillary Clinton, and other globalists. Thousands of federal workers being diverted to deportation plan because Biden had slashed it and cut it back to almost nothing. And it's key groups like the ATF. So instead of having them run around and harass gun owners and then ship guns into Mexico themselves, it's right here. It's right here. If you want to shoot the overhead shot. Here's the deal for the crew. You guys do a great job. I don't need you to show a document or an article unless I get it. I'll put it right here. I'm going to restart the show in a minute. I'm going to go to rebroadcast for a little while. I got a lot going on. I'm not mad. I've just been working since 5 a.m. this morning, and I get over-prepared for the broadcast, and I just come in here absolutely loaded and ready to go, and I just can't do it anymore for a minute. Just So I want to get into the good things that are going on, the big geopolitical movements, all of it, but then you've got Trump coming out and openly saying, oh, I think it's a great idea to join the UK Commonwealth. That's not just ceremonial. That's a big deal. So there's a major global realignment taking place right now. Massive things are happening, and such important things are happening. And the U.S. has all the cards, and I've been explaining this. But this isn't just a political changing of the guard or something. This isn't a normal, smaller political realignment. This is a mega political realignment. And the general public, even dialed in populists and conservatives, most of them, don't know who the main players are and how it's all percolating. And when I watch the U.S. Senate, and I watch congressional hearings, and I listen to other political pundits that are supposedly top experts, they're either experts on one area or one little section, and it seems like almost no one understands how big this is. Trump does. His cabinet does. But this is a big deal. So Trump coming out and saying, oh, yeah, I think it's a great idea. Sounds good to me is the quote, I love King Charles, in response to them coming to officially invite us in. There's a lot of reasons he could be doing that. And I'm going to explain those coming up. But just from the perspective of saying it when we were born out of 1776 and a rebellion against the crown, and the UK for hundreds of years, what is the UK today, what was the British Empire, has been trying to break up America. They fomented the Civil War on record. And then today they're involved in our domestic policies massively. And they are funding much of the wokeism and the censorship and the tyranny. I mean, I don't have to tell you how oppressive and out of control the UK is. So I'm going to air a report I shot last night on this because in about 13 minutes, it covers most of the key angles. Then I'm going to give you some of the new developments. Then I'm going to open the phones up for you to talk about this and for you to give us your view on it. And then I'm going to intersperse it with all the amazingly positive things Trump's doing and the fact that the Democrats are now even more intensely admitting that their party hasn't course corrected, is in free fall, has gone off the edge of a cliff, is committing suicide politically. These are all quotes they're saying about themselves. There's also a civil war going on inside of the